Yeah, Lord, thank you that you're here in our midst. And thank you that even as we were singing, you reign above it all. And that is who you are. And I thank you for that. And Lord, as we ponder, as we consider, as we look into your word, I ask that you would just encourage us and strengthen us this morning as we set our eyes on you. Yeah, so like David said, we've started a new series, and we're going to go through and talk about the kingdom of God or the kingdom of heaven. And I love this subject. I don't know if I'll be able to. The biggest problem I have is when I consider the kingdom of God, the kingdom of heaven, I get into this, my brain just locks up. I cannot wrap my mind around the goodness of the Lord when considering who He is, what His kingdom is like. And so hopefully this morning I'll be able to communicate some of my thoughts without locking up. But the kingdom of God, it's something that Jesus talked about a lot when He was on the earth. The kingdom of God is at hand, or the kingdom of God is taken, there's violence and it's taken by force, or these different things that Jesus talks about, or the kingdom, a lot of His parables, right? The kingdom of God is like a man who sows a field. I know Ariel referenced that in her prayer. And so we want to take a look and say, well, what exactly is the kingdom of God, and how does it affect us? What does it mean for us today? And how does it inspire us? And so the first set of messages, as David was saying, is let's look. This is a kingdom. A kingdom wouldn't be a kingdom without a king. And so largely the kingdom of God is defined by who its king is. And David went through a few different attributes of who Jesus is. And honestly, we could spend an enormous amount of time talking about, well, what is Jesus like? How do you cherry pick different attributes of who God is and speak on those? So we've kind of condensed it into just a few messages talking about the King, Jesus. He's the Alpha and the Omega, as David mentioned. He's the Creator. This one, I mean, if you know who I am, you know that I love this subject, the Creator. I get stuck in loops trying to figure out how this could possibly work. The Creator. He's the Lamb slain. And He's the coming King. He's coming back again. This morning we want to talk about three other attributes of who Jesus is and what His character is like, and what are some of the keys, or at least the things within His kingdom that are valued. And we want to talk about righteousness, peace, and joy. Lord, give me wisdom here. There's this, the question I find myself asking is, well, why do these things matter at all? Like righteousness, peace, and joy. What? The reality is that righteousness means nothing apart from the Creator who created it. Peace means absolutely nothing apart from the Creator who created it. He's the one who assigned value to these things. And to me, it's just testimony to who God is, that this is the way that He structured His kingdom. He values righteousness. Jesus is the righteous King. He is entirely righteous. He defines what righteousness looks like. He sets the bar, the standard for our lives. in terms of how we should live. And it's not just how we should live, but it's how we were created to live. So it's, I'll use, for lack of a better example, I got roped, 10 years ago, I got roped into the internet industry. My friend needed help. He asked me to help him with internet. And for the last 10 years, roughly, I've been doing internet. I got pulled out of design engineering. I'm a mechanical design guy. That's what I went to school for. But I got pulled out of design or engineering, working on a computer to help my friend with his internet company. And I've been doing that for 10 years. And in the last couple of months, it's become clear that internet is maybe not what I'm the most passionate about. You might all know me as the tech guy, but I'm not like, I don't go home at night and go on Facebook and check out what the latest and greatest things in the internet world are. That's not what I do. And so if I'm running an internet company, that's probably not a good combination. So I'm moving on. I'm getting back, by the grace of God, getting back into design engineering. And I'm really excited for it. We'll see what this season holds, but I'll be back doing what I love to do. These attributes, righteousness, peace, and joy. Righteousness is what we were created to do. We might find ourselves living in unrighteousness, working at this is a bad example, but when we walk in unrighteousness, we are not walking as we were created to. It's like you're working in an industry that you don't really have passion about. That's a really crass example, but when we walk in righteousness, we're walking as we were created to, and it will be the best experience for our lives. Whether or not yeah. And Jesus is the example of this in his life. He walked, and as Ariel was reading this story of Jesus' birth, I was thinking ahead to this message, and I'm like, what does righteous Jesus at 2.5 years old look like? We don't know much about it. The Bible doesn't talk about what righteous Jesus looked like at 5 and 6 and 7. But we know that he lived perfectly and he walked in righteousness. As was referenced already this morning, Isaiah 9, of the increase of his government and of peace there will be no end, on the throne of David and over his kingdom, to establish it and uphold it with justice and with righteousness from this time forth and forevermore. The zeal of the Lord